Hey, what's up, guys? It's Daniel. Haven't It's a long time no see. Haven't made any videos for YouTube for quite a while. Just been really busy with life. Um, but Thought I'd start getting back in the habit of making more videos because I'm still avid into sharpening. Just haven't had time to put together any videos. So while I've been gone, I sold my TS Prof KO3, sold all my stones, sold everything, and went back to a Wicked Edge commercial unit. So just to give some context, that's actually the second time I've sold a TS Prof unit. The first one was a KO2, used that for a little bit. Then I switched to a Wicked Edge Gen 3, used that for quite a while. Then I went back to a then I got my TS Prof KO3, a Hapstone R1, a couple other units in between there. And yeah, I sold the TS Prof and got the my newest one, which is the commercial Wicked Edge, which is based off the Gen 3. And just for forewarning, love the KO3, still do. I still believe it is the more universal system, as I think you can sharpen a wider range of items on it. But with that said, I felt like while I was using the KO3, it always reminded me of that when I used the Gen 3, when I had it before, that it was just, I felt like could just get better edges on the Wicked Edge, at least more consistently, with less effort, faster, and it wasn't as vague. Sometimes on the KO3, I mean, I can get crazy sharp hair whittling edges on the KO3, but I felt like there was more times where I would get to a really high grit and then have to go back a few grits because of a slight accident or a slight issue. But yeah, basically, I just felt like the Wicked Edge is a little more consistent, a little easier to use. And this time around, I'm probably going to get some different accessories. Mainly there's a new chisel adapter, low angle adapter, scissor attachment, all sorts of stuff. And I've actually already gotten, part of this video will be just an overview, not like a really in-depth review video. One of the things upgrades I already got for the KO3 is there's designs and a gentleman on the Wicked Edge forum that puts together these kits for these micro adjuster, which the unit that comes with the Gen 3 by default isn't bad by any means. Actually, it's very nice. I don't know, I just like the unit that I got from Ed. Just has larger knobs, just slightly enhances or kind of upgrades the experience by easier adjustments for just fine-tuning the angle at the very end. This is the KO3, or not KO3, the standard Wicked Edge angle adjustment, micro angle adjustment unit, which is really nice still. Uses a jam nut, or more like a jam screw, rod end system to adjust your angle. I'm sure you guys have seen pictures of that. Ed's unit, which try to get more close up of that. Ed's unit, which I believe that Ed, he makes it full well known that he's not the creator of this system. I believe just known by I think the forum tag TC Meyer, but apparently he devised a system and he even publishes like the like MasterCard, which individual pieces to purchase. But Ed takes the time to assemble. You get the hacksaw or cut down some components to make it work, and he takes the time to assemble everything and give it to you as one package already assembled, for a affordable price, I'm sure, for the amount of time that he has to put into creating it. The only addition that I've done with the system is I added just a little nylon washer right there, so it's not steel on aluminum. Add that on both ends, and then it also includes a cut down set of rod ends, so you get more stone usage on the lower end. And I just added a little rubber grommet at the very end as more like a bump stop. So you get quite a bit of stone travel out of that. So yeah, it's really, really good unit. Basically, it works by you loosen this, and then you can use this large thumb wheel to adjust the angle in a very minute amount. And when you get to the area that you like, I mean, this moves so freely that it just spins. Basically, you just snug it up when you get to an area that you want, and this will not move, especially with that nylon washer. It just is super snug. There was a couple times where my initial sharpenings, where I was just breaking in the stones, that the angle adjustment did move on me, and it's probably user error. I just didn't tighten it enough down. But I did run into that, so I just thought it was a good time to go ahead and adjust or upgrade, since I just bought the system. And essentially, there's a ton of Gen 3 review videos on YouTube, so I won't go like super in depth. The commercial unit is, in general, I believe the commercial unit is, it allows just a slight amount more of angle adjustment to 13 to 30 degrees. Understanding these are just reference points or markings. Obviously, it all depends on how high or low your knife is on the clamp. But it has a sturdier, more thicker aluminum base. Has a magnetic cabinet system, which I think is really cool. And then it has more of the angle adjustment area is sealed. So basically, that blue aluminum top plate is more covers up more than the Gen 3 unit. And I've owned the Gen 3, and to be honest, the Gen 3 just wasn't in stock, but the commercial was the only real reason why I got the commercial unit. But I'm very happy with it so far. Still working out. Every sharpening unit is going to have its own quirks that you got to either get used to or find ways to engineer a better solution. And the Wicked Edge is no different, just as the KO3. One of the things, the main reason why I like the Wicked Edge more than the KO3, though, why I went back to the Wicked Edge unit, is because the Wicked Edge clamp vise, it's very, 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 very well engineered. Try to get a closer up view of it. Forgive me using this tripod. Go. I got a knife clamped in there right now, so I'm not going to take it off yet. But essentially, works on a cam lever and a Belleville washer stack. I think it's about 4 or 5 washers. I believe it's probably face to face, back to back, and basically it's just stronger than than just using a single spring. But yeah, it applies a lot of tension. There's a tension adjustment lever behind the unit that allows you to add or reduce tension to compensate for blade thickness, which is awesome. There's this is the lever, so you can get leverage. And the 2017 update split the jaws right here. Did some other changes to the geometry of the inner portion of the jaw, but basically it allows to clamp onto distal taper and full flat grinds easier. And so far, you know, I'm a spider cone enthusiast, so far, the couple knives I have sharpened, it does clamp on it very, very good. But that's probably the biggest difference between the KO3 and the Wicked Edge that I would note for myself personally that I like more is I felt like I spent a lot of time with the KO3. I would go and tighten everything down, whether I was using the single clamp or the conical clamps. I had the whole milled clamps, any clamp that you could think of I had for that. But I still was not able to clamp onto full flat grinds or distal taper knives with much consistency, at least not without going through a lot of trouble to try to, you know, I would get the angle set up on one side and then flip it over, and it would be 2 or 3 degrees off, and I'd have to try to readjust everything. What I've seen out of the Wicked Edge is that I'd say 9 times out of 10, the first time I clamp a knife, I don't have to readjust it. And then, again, these micro adjusters, you know, whatever amount that you are off, whether it's from your own alignment or user inflicted, or if it's just the bevels on the knife is just not consistent on each edge, which is super common. This allows you to fine tune each end so you get that perfect contact with your stones, which is awesome. If they could find a way to put this jaw on the KO3 somehow, or devise a new jaw system for the KO3, or maybe on the KO4 or something like that, it would be freaking awesome. I'd really like that. But as is, works really, really well. So that's one of the main attractions to the Wicked Edge unit. So here's actually a closer look at the cabinet system for the commercial series. It's pretty cool. So there's 2 magnets that keep it nice and snug. And essentially, the system comes with grits all the way from, I believe, 100 to 1000, and different, you know, I think it's 100, 200, 400, 600, 800, 1000, and then I got 3 or 4 additional stones. I got the, I believe it's like 2000, 3000 or something similar to that, diamond stones, as a in-between, to go from the 1000 all the way to the ceramics. I felt like you needed a bridge in between, so I got those in between diamonds, and then I got both sets of the ceramics, which come in 1200/1600, and a little bit of controversy with this set. This is 1.4 micron/0.6 micron. And I believe the secret to these stones is that, from what I understand from on the forum, the same company that makes Spyderco ceramic stones makes these stones, and you can actually tell by the color they're very similar. Only issue is there's been debate about where to actually put these in your stone, your arrangement. And documented wise from Wicked Edge, you're supposed to use them after the 1200/1600 ceramics, which I actually think those are much higher grit than those. You can damn near get a mirror edge just off those first set of ceramics. Then you're supposed to go to the 1.4 and then the 0.6. I believe the 0.6 is pretty accurate, and with everything, you have to break them in first. That's the key word. You really have to, especially with these ceramics, you have to break these in first, or especially when you go to the 1.4 side, micron side, you're gonna actually scuff up your blade if you go from the other ceramics. But after you break them in, I believe that the markings are accurate. And basically, to help do that, I just took the 1.4 side and took it to 1,000 and then 3,000 sandpaper with water, and just to smooth out and kind of speed up the break-in process, which you don't have to do that. You can just sharpen knives and eventually you will break them in. But even just doing that, this feels much smoother. So if you guys are in the same position where you got these stones but you don't like the results that you're seeing because they're not broken in yet, try taking them some sandpaper, or you maybe have a water stone that you could, bench stone that you can take them to, but you can immediately feel the difference of how smooth it is. So look forward to using these. Haven't actually used them yet. The 1200/1600 ceramic stones, I get great results off them. One's a white color, one's kind of like a light blue, off blue color. Believe that it was engineered that the thickness of all the stones are similar to where you don't have to keep using the angle, your angle gauge in between stones, so that helps a lot. Except when you go to your leather or balsa strops, I believe that the common notion is to reduce by 1 to 2 degrees. I just reduce by 1 degree if I'm using leather. With balsa, I usually just, you can usually keep the same if you're being steady, not applying a lot of force, or you can just go down like a ½ degree with that. That's what I normally do. But yeah, one thing to note, I believe Wicked Edge or Clay is aware of this, and if it happens to you, which it happened to me, they were very good about replacing the stones, is that this is my second pack of stones. The first set, both stones fell out of their paddle, and I believe they used some sort of, I don't know if it's like a rubber cement or it's like a thicker glue, but basically, if you apply any water at all, not submerging them, but just even apply any water to and when they warn you about this too, but I was breaking them in, it will fall right off the paddle. At least of the 2 stone sets I had. The second stone set, I didn't even bother trying to contact them because essentially it was user inflicted. I had put water on them, like literally probably 2 sprays of water on the top surface, and within 5 minutes it just plopped right off. So all I did was just use super glue and kept the adhesive that was already on there, and just applied a little super glue on the top of that, put the stone back in, let it sit overnight with some weight on top of it, and they're solid as can be now. So that's no fault of Wicked Edge. They warn you about adding any water with an insert they include with the stones, but just something to note that yeah, a couple drops of super glue, if that ever happens, it fixes it right up, and it's super steady. No angle difference that I've noted. So but yeah, I really do like the ceramic stones that come with or not come with, but you can purchase for the Wicked Edge system. They're not the typical like Japanese water stones. You don't have to use them with water at all. In fact, I believe they tell you not to, but I use just a little bit of soapy water. I've always have. And wanted to give you a closer look at the Ed's micro adjusters, and I'm not sure if I can find the link or put it on really quickly, but essentially if you just go type in Ed Wicked Edge micro adjuster in Google, the first couple of results are going to be the forum pages that you'll be able to find how you can contact him via email or Facebook, and he'll get you sorted out. Dealing with him was very, very easy. Kept really good communication throughout. Even contacted me after he knew that they arrived and gave me some hints about installing them. Had no issues installing them. Quality was great. Workmanship is great. So yeah, really had good feedback and overall a good experience with Ed. But yeah, essentially, just to go into more depth, instead of the jam nut being on this side, you can have it on this outer side. It's just easier to use. And like I said, they're stainless, they're steel, so they just glide. They're heavier. So that's how you adjust them. Essentially, yeah. And there's so much weight on them that it just seems like it just glides right in. So they're a joy to use. I like them a lot so far. Yep, and you don't have to add that nylon washer. That was just so I don't have steel on aluminum contact bases. To give you a little closer look, these are the Wicked Edge ones that come by default. Right, you can see that I had that jam nut right here. Obviously doesn't go there. That's where the guide rod goes into. But yeah, for a size comparison, that's what they look like compared. Very similar in quality. I believe that Ed's units are 1 inch. These look to be about maybe 1/2 inch, maybe a little more than that. But yeah, that's the Wicked Edge one by default. So hopefully this video was helpful. I hope to be producing a lot more sharpening videos. Really, I have this kitchen knife in there just to break in the stones, but I will show what the results look like, and probably within the next few days I'll put out my first sharpening video with the Wicked Edge. Maybe go more in depth with some of the features of the commercial unit, and yeah, hopefully you guys enjoy, and thank you. Bye.